Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. This is your boy, the one and only. I'm gonna start off like this. Fuck you, and I'm still bullish. Right now, crypto, Bitcoin is at 107 and some change. I did say that the line in the sand is at 108. If we don't close above 108, ladies and gentlemen, we're heading to the lower regions and filling this wick at 103. Then we're heading to 100k. I don't think that's happening. I do not think that's happening. Everyone and their pet hamster, everyone is calling for a bear market. So that must mean we're in a bear market. Of course, we are in a bear market. Of course, I should have known. The herd always knows, right? I left you guys. I went on a break. I came back and we're still at these same ranges. We've been ranging for a long time. On the monthly, Bitcoin is down roughly from here to here around 5%, 5.81%. Right now we've just moved sideways. So 1, 2, 3, 4 monthly candles we've been ranging at the same areas pretty much. We're still at 100k and some change, and all of this was noise. All of this right here was just simply noise. Everyone calling for a bear market, everyone calling for a bull market, and still we have massive indecisive candles. Right now the bears nor the bulls have definitively moved the market in any direction. 50% think it's a bear market and the other 50% think it's a bull market. Now, I'm going to give you some scenarios, okay? If we do head to 100k, that's going to mark peak fear, like extreme fear. And every time during a bull market, during a bull cycle, we've hit this lower range of around 1 to 10, and that marks the local bottom. So what we're going to see is, in my opinion, if we don't hold 108, we're heading to 103, then 100, then 98. Scare everyone. Everyone's going to be petrified. I'm still going to be holding, and I could show you RSIs. I see all the charts, guys. I'm not a novice at this. I see all the charts, but trust me, things are not as simple as this. I want to show you something, and pay attention. This is Bitcoin. And we always form these megaphones in this cycle. For some reason, we just do. We had a megaphone here. We form higher highs and lower lows. We had a massive megaphone over here, a falling wedge, higher highs and lower lows. We had another megaphone here, higher highs and lower lows. We can even show you this right over here, another megaphone right over here, ladies and gentlemen. We just have megaphones all over the gaff. We have more megaphones here and right over here. So throughout this cycle, we've just shown the same patterns again and again. Now I want to show you something similar. And back in 2024 of August, we had this wick, huge wick. Everyone thought it was over, and guess what? We continued to go up higher. The thing is, we didn't fill this wick. We never actually filled this wick. I'll show you on some of these other altcoins. I'll show you on ADA on the 5th of August. We never even filled the wick. 5th of August, right over here, we formed a massive candle followed by a huge wick. I can show you BNB all over, everywhere. We showed the same patterns. Now pay attention, this is important. Again, 5th of August, you can check it out yourself. You can do this with every single chart. Everyone in the room thought it was over. What I'm implying and what I'm trying to say is, we don't necessarily need to fill the wick. Bitcoin hasn't done it in the past. On the 5th of August 2024, we never filled the wick. So what I'm trying to imply is this: we're not going to fill the wick. We might not fill the wick, but if we do, ladies and gentlemen, and we always have to have a plan, then we're going to head to this lower area in the wick, in the wedge, right over here at 102 and some change. Me personally, this is the bottom. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you a tweet I made. This is my tweet that I made, and I said, this is the bottom for Bitcoin and ETH. Alts drop lower. So right over here. Now it wasn't the peak of bottom. I said the bottom was at 108 and the bottom was actually at 106. This is the bottom, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think it's going to fill the wick, just like on the 5th of August. I could be wrong. If that is the case, then we're heading to 102. But I give bottoms, ladies and gentlemen. I don't call tops around here. Everyone's calling for a bear market. Let them call for a bear market. I'm still bullish until otherwise. Once we close underneath 100K, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Once we confirm and close underneath 100K, then it's a bear market. Altcoins, you know the drift. They're going to continue to bleed. I know we had great news regarding quantitative tightening, and that ended and everyone was very, very bullish. But let's be honest. Altcoins are just a liquidity play. You can have all the great news. We have ETFs, we have adoption, we have regulation, we have Gary Gensler has left. We have all of this beautiful tokenization, yada, and altcoins are at 0.27. So all of these white papers, all of this marketing, everything goes to show none of it mattered. None of it mattered except for QE. So that's where we are right now. This is going to head to 0.27, ladies and gentlemen. And I've been very clear to everyone that altcoins will continue to bleed until otherwise. So far, we haven't filled the wick. We need to fill the wick. Primarily, I'm looking for it to head to 0.27. And then from there, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see a role reversal. Now you can say all you want and say, guys, we got adoption. We got this. We got this. Yes, we have come a long way. Crypto has come a long way since 2017, 2013. It's come a massively long way. However, none of that matters. None of that matters, my friend. You can read all the white papers, do all the research you want, ladies and gentlemen. You can invest in AI coins and all sorts. But my friend, do not fight the Fed. That's what we learned. We learned this for about 3.5 years. A majority of crypto participants were fighting the Fed. They were literally fighting the Fed. We had quantitative tightening, and I'll show you right over here. We've been under QT in this regime since February 2022. And since then, altcoins have progressively bled and continued to go downwards against Bitcoin. I'm going to show you an example here. Pay attention. The blue line is total assets under management. It went up. Altcoins outperformed everything. Okay, now altcoins underperform everything. Imagine buying toothpaste 5 years ago and then selling it today. That toothpaste has outperformed altcoins. So we have seen altcoins outperform during this period, but we don't necessarily need QE. Yeah, because in 2017, we had no QE or QT. We were just moving sideways. The balance sheet of the Fed was just simply moving sideways in 2017. So we don't necessarily need QE. It will help. But as for now, altcoins are going to head to my target of 0.27. Now, the $1 million question is, what happens to Ethereum? Is this it? Is this done? Is it over? We did not come this far just to come this far. Now, Ethereum doesn't look bad in the grand scheme of things. Like, let's be honest, it doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look terrible compared to all of the altcoins. Altcoins on the yearly are down like 80-70%. So we need Ethereum to head to 5K. I bought some more. Okay. I know it's going to get scary. It might get scary. It might do the similar movement as Tesla. Okay. Tesla went during that period. Let me show you Tesla. So there are some similarities. So Tesla did something similar where we broke past, this is the monthly, we broke past the previous all-time high, and then we went all the way back to the golden support and went down 55%. We've already done this with Ethereum though, but do we need to do it again? I don't think so. Okay, so literally it's forming the same pattern as Tesla. As you can see here, it ranged from 2021 all the way to 2025. It's just been moving sideways. It looks exactly the same as Ethereum, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still bullish until otherwise. If we go lower than 100K, ladies and gentlemen, that's when we have to leave. Now, I see everything the bears are showing you. Matter of fact, no, I'm not going to tell you. But I see everything the bears are posting. I see it. I know. Let them have their fun. Let them have their time in the sun for now. Bitcoin hasn't really done much. It's just moved sideways. There is a battle of war going on between the bulls and the bears. And another fun fact, gold has continued to make all-time new highs. Okay, since I left, I did tell you almost a year and a half ago, get into gold. If you hold any stable coins, then allocate some to gold. No one listened. It fell on deaf ears. Look at gold. Time flies, doesn't it? Okay, so a lot of folks are calling for a peak top in gold. My friends, you must be smoking crack to think that gold has peaked. No. Gold is still going to be the best performing asset of this year. Bitcoin is going to have a problem. It needs to catch up. And a lot of folks think that we're gonna rotate into crypto. That's never ever the case. There are central bankers that are buying this. The main reason why this is going up is because of central bankers, and they're going to continue to buy because they're losing faith in the dollar. We have a problem with the dollar, guys. It's formed a golden cross, golden support on the daily, and on the weekly it might form a golden support. Okay guys, so this is going to be alarm bells for crypto. If this heads up higher, then of course that's the bearish stance. That's all you need to know. We're going to head up higher for the dollar. We have a few tailwinds. A lot of folks thought that the end of QT was going to be bullish, but unfortunately it was all priced in. You see, it was all priced in. Now we got some few gaps in the S&P 500. We got a lot of gaps, to be fair. We got one gap over here. The first gap has partially been filled right over here. So the gap here, and then we have another gap here, and then we have further gaps down there. But I think what's going to happen next is we're going to fill these gaps from here to here. We're going to fill this gap, and then remember my target. I put this target up here a long time ago. Where is it? There we go. 7,600. That's my target for SPX. Okay, 7,593 points. We have, ladies and gentlemen, surprisingly, the Russell 2000. Now the Russell 2000 continues to make higher highs and higher lows. And we've said this before, Ethereum has a very close correlation to the Russell 2000, ladies and gentlemen. So if I overlay the Russell 2000, you'll be able to see what I mean. As you can see, this is Ethereum and the Russell 2000. It looks uncanny. It looks very, very similar, ladies and gentlemen. And the Russell 2000 has made all-time new highs. Ethereum is going to do the same. Okay, it's lagging at the moment, but it's going to do the same. So the bullish setup is, in my opinion, there for me. You can do whatever you wish, ladies and gentlemen, and a lot of folks are calling for the 4-year cycle. Okay, I get it, 4-year cycle, this and that, but I know this word is frowned upon, but this time it's really, really different. It's really, really different, and you know it. It's really different. Coin is a class of its own. It's matured now, while crypto hasn't matured. Yet there is a massive disparity between Bitcoin and crypto, and the market has really kind of decided that Bitcoin is not crypto. It's different. Okay, something different. While crypto is still trying to mature and still kind of trying to, you know, get his feet together. The only way possible is going to be QE, ladies and gentlemen. You can read all the white papers, do all the searches you want. You can build VCs, can build fund, do everything, but liquidity is the name of the game, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so I'm still bullish, and fuck all the bears. I'm still bullish until otherwise. We'll see if this gets to 100k and lower, and we're gonna have to rethink our thesis so far. So in general, that's my recap right now. 107.08. okay, if it doesn't hold 108, we're heading straight to 103, then we're heading straight to 100, and then, ladies and gentlemen, if it holds underneath 100, that's your answer. But by then, altcoins have been completely annihilated, and there you have it. You guys, or us, we have to wait for another 4 years for altcoins to come back up. Now that's scary. That's very scary, but this is the game we play. This is the game we play, ladies and gentlemen. 2021 was our .com period, and the next 10 years might be the lost decade for crypto. Maybe. I doubt it, but I have to really kind of open your mind, ladies and gentlemen. I know, because there's a lot of folks that have a misconception and think that they should DCA and continue to DCA these coins. And there's a lot of participants that will tell you to continue to DCA in these projects, when the truth is, it's about timing the market. It's not about time in the market. These are not indexes, guys. These are highly risky plays. I know a lot of folks are very, very bullish and they love this space. I know you and I, we both love this space. But ladies and gentlemen, it happens. And sometimes we end up with the short end of the stick. You have to pray, ladies and gentlemen, for a recessionary scare. You have to pray that one of these banks collapse, and then we start to see QE. Bitcoin dominance is going to continue to head to this wick, like I kept on saying a million times on this channel. Irrespective if Bitcoin goes up, down, or sideways, my friends, everyone's been telling you that Bitcoin dominance has peaked, just to stroke your ego. I get it, and just to give you some hopium, but sometimes I'd rather hear the hard, cold-blooded truth. I don't want to be lied to. Now imagine a situation, God forbid, you're in a situation where you get married, you have a wife, and you're raising this kid. Now you're raising the kid, and she's saying to you, the child is yours. The child is yours. She's looking at you straight in the eyes and she's telling you the child is yours. You spend 5 years raising this child. Then one day you think to yourself, this kid, the features are not mine. It's a bit off. Your mom is telling you, you know, it's a bit off. It doesn't really look like you, son. Then you pluck up the courage to one day go and get a strand of her or his hair, and you go to the clinic, and then you find out that the child is not yours. A lot of altcoins, I'm not saying 100%, but a lot of altcoins are like that. You're going to spend 5 years of your time to find out it's just a scam. This is the Bitcoin and ETH ratio, and so far we're fine. We've corrected around 20%. This is a correction. I think we're heading up higher. My targets still stand for Ethereum, and my target still stands for Bitcoin. Okay, others dominance, you know the drift, and you're going to get pockets of outperformance. We have the 10-year yield. Now the 10-year yield is interesting. Pay attention now. It is interesting. Whenever we break the 10-year yield of 3.8, that's normally a bear market right over here. So we bounced the first time, the second time, and then finally, if we correct lower, ladies and gentlemen, that means we are in a recession. Okay, so far we haven't got to this area, so the S&P 500 still has some time to grow. We have coin dominance divided by ETH dominance and the stable coins. We're heading to this higher region. Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to outperform regardless. Even if it goes down sideways, Bitcoin and Ethereum are your safe havens.